Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron for Kaiserreich as Poland. In the last video, we started working a little bit more on our economy, doing a little bit more stuff on the reorganization side of things, and we're kind of killing time until our elections in, was it 38? Yeah, 1938. We are suffering political power-wise, which is not the best, but hopefully we'll be able to get some extra soon. Hopefully. Because I would like to be able to get out of this hole that we're in. Oh, there we go. There's at least one positive. The peasant strike has finally calmed down after decisive action from our government. The PSL's announced the end for the demonstrations. For now, the peasants' militias have dispersed back into the countryside. Even if the crisis was dealt with, it's still a formidable example of the organizational ability of the peasants' movement. The strike was not the work of amateurs, but someone who could very well organize a revolution should they gather more widespread support. Let's not agitate them any further. Please. Please. No Republican support. Oh, wow. Fresh off the press and already circulating amongst prominent military circles is Achtung Panzer, a book on the new form of warfare written by Heinz Guderian. Guderian, a prominent officer in the Kaiser's army, has been in Poland for the last few years as a military attaché to the Polish king's forces, although some speculate the Prussian is here purely due to disagreements with the German army command. Radical its conception, the book has attracted controversy among conservative military theorists and those who believe Guderian's theory will dominate the future of warfare. Indeed, the Polish military has already embraced Guderian's idea to create their very own armored divisions, with Guderian supervising its development and their exercises in the field. The book focuses on the increased modernization of the armed forces, embracing concentrated use of tanks while also adopting the union of aerial and land coordination by infantry and close air support. Guderian argues against the use of cavalry due to the effectiveness of the machine gun, and instead pushes for modern cavalry to be one of mechanized infantry. Furthermore, Guderian focuses on the bitter attrition that plagued the Weltkrieg and offers the future adoption and integration of tanks in the armed forces to break through the stalemate of attrition. Guderian analyzes the armored forces of his own country, but also surveys the tank programs of Russia, the Commune of France, and the Union of Britain, listing their strengths as well as their shortcomings. Ascension's flare across the European continent once more, the threat of a second Weltkrieg more is possible by the day. Many wonder if Guderian's theory will have a chance to prove itself. It's a really interesting book. Interesting indeed. I don't think we're actually going to follow up with any of his theories, but they're fun. Russia is going against the central regions. Yucatan has capitulated. Interesting. Ooh, a lot of stuff is happening. Oh no. Well, yeah, we're going to get some more. It's come to our attention that a particularly high member of the Schlatscha has been engulfed in scandal. It was revealed that he has been leaking highly confidential documents belonging to the royal administration to his mistress, who is suspected of being a Russian agent. The nobleman himself has been detained and will stand trial for his actions against the kingdom, but there's no knowing how much information he managed to share with his Russian succubus. The woman herself is nowhere to be found and is suspected to have fled the country when its criminal dalliance was discovered. Well, this is highly alarming. It's no bueno. No bueno. Got quite a lot of economic control over our own economy, which is very nice to see. What now? Go down here to get some extra political power. Although those civilian factories look pretty nice right about now. Yeah, I think we'll go for... we'll start with the Central Industrial Region. The flagship of our our ambitious industrial program, the Central Industrial Region will be a concentration of Polish industrial output in the region around Warsaw. This will take the advantage of being in the center of our nation economy, a beating industrial heart which will represent the transformation of our economy into that of a modern industrial society. The Wodai Empire has capitulated. Sovereigntist in Middle Africa. That is Goring. Okay. In response to recent raves of anti-Semitic violence, the more radically minded wing of the Boon has won the presidency in multiple important council positions. Under the leadership of the syndicalist-minded Heinrich Erich, who has campaigned the spirit of the French and the British revolutions. Even more moderate members of the Boon begrudgingly accept Elrich's more radical tone and its calls for direct action against the oppressive government. Polarization continues. Ooh. He did what now? He just left. He just upped and fucking left. Today, rather unexpected and dangerous guest to our king has arrived in Warsaw from America. The man was quick to introduce himself to local newspapers, none other than Paweł Satwator Piast Widelski, self-proclaimed Duke of Poland and Odobrites, and claimed to the throne of Poland. There were some residents who welcomed and cheered for him, while some even saying that he should be their king instead of some foreign scope. The Duke even claimed to be recognized by the Austrians as the legitimate ruler in 1908, and declared that he will stay in Warsaw's top hotel and wait for his crown. He's also announced the creation of many aid funds to help neighboring rural areas with their poverty and other programs, as a good king should do. Who's this person again? You know, if this was a Kaiserreich, there'd be 80 different paths for Poland that he could take power, but I don't think there is one for that in Kaiserreich. Is that the guy who becomes Alexei after the Tabaritsky? After Tabaritsky's path falls apart? We'll do that, and we don't have any more civilian factories, so we just kind of have to suck on some eggs for a bit. West Indies Federation versus Puerto Rico. Ooh. Yeah, Puerto Rico's going a little wild right now. I'm not surprised that they're going after them. Central Industrial Region. Okay, next we got... We'll do the funding of the construction sector. While it may sound redundantly obvious, it will be impossible to build an industrial region without the construction services to do so. So we are finding companies struggling to meet the specifications of modern factories. Funding will be allocated for the expansion and modernization of construction companies and their equipment. This effort should hopefully allow us to speed up the growth of our industrial capabilities. Hopefully. Hungary's capitulated. No surprise there, really. No kidding. 18% political power gain. Today, the king died with Marici Zamoyski, 15th Ornate of Zamość, one of the richest landowners in Poland. Zamoyski is a well-known figure in Polish politics and already a member of the Geheimrat. He has been a loud spokesman for the Polish aristocracy and for cooperation with National Democrats, and as of late, Zamoyski has made considerable attempts to sway the king's favor. Zamoyski's colorful stories of the adventure and duels of his youth have given him a reputation of adventurer in the court. His openly nationalistic tone and shared past with Roman Dmowski made for him many enemies among the king's advisors, who never seen him fail, but King August IV is impressed by Zamoyski's charisma. You know what? I need the political power gain. It might bite us in the ass, but we'll see. And there goes Middle Africa. It's almost no one's surprise, I think. Romania, I think, is going to carry the bulk of the weight for those guys. Interwar artillery. I think Romania will win the war for them. Is Austria just occupying these guys? What's going on here? They might be going for the pluralism, because I know that usually happens. The war usually happens around then, but... yeah. This would be a fun path to do, potentially. I know Austria needs a rework, or there's a rework coming soon, which I am looking forward to, if and when that happens. Ooh. Is it... they're not... okay, they didn't do the coalition, so they can't overthrow them. Did they join the Reich Pact? They did join the Reich Pact. Interesting. Okay. Get another civilian factory. I think I might want to do that. To further the growth of our new industrial heartland, there has been a significant talk of establishing steelworks in the region in order to take advantage of the pre-existing coal and iron ore supplies found there. These steelworks, known as Huta Stalova Wola, will provide thousands of jobs in the region, with plans even being drafted for an entirely planned city to house workers in the plant. Interesting. Could do some more stuff around here. What do we want to do? Do some more building slots. I think the play is... actually, I think I'm going to hold on my political power and then change my economic law. Ooh. New division. Wonderful. Everyone knows a dashing officer's or nobleman's full attire requires a proper sword. There's no better sword than the Ludwikova, many Poles would say, technically known as the Szybala Wieża 34. This truly modern cavalry saber is a product of the brightest minds and smiths in Poland, having been described as a perfect weapon, well balanced and uncommonly too easy to cut with. Every produced Szybala Wieża 34 has to be able to pierce 2mm steel sheet and cut multiple steel bars of 5mm diameter without damaging the blade. These swords have become very fashionable among Prussian aristocracy, having spread from Polish court and military. The demand for the Ludwikovas has boomed, both because of the fashion and because of a major expansion of the Polish army done in the last year. Orders have increased to the extent that it is now planned to increase production of these swords. Must be done carefully, however, as any drop in quality would be a sad fate. Now, if they want Polish swords, we'll give them Polish swords. It's going to hit the political power, but a free military factory sounds pretty damn nice, because I know we need artillery right now. We need some resources on top of that. I'm going to trade, get some of that. I think we should probably just do the focus to get... yeah, we're doing the focus to get steel, so I don't have to worry about that too much. But tungsten we do need by ourselves. Yeah. Oh, East Africa. Interesting. The claims of our royal guests but only grown during his stay in Warsaw. Duke Pavel Salvatore Piast Wiedeński is now claiming to be descendant of the medieval King Boleslav II the Bold. Initially, there was some excitement around his claimant, mainly because of his generous aid programs and funding of many children's organizations. The High Society of Warsaw has been especially interested in him, to the great annoyance of the royal government. Fortunately, his sham did not run for very long. It started with an affair concerning his aid fund, which all turned out to be an elaborate scheme, where all the donations went to the extravagantly living Duke himself. Even his claims about his birth were not true. He turned out to be born in Germany. Furious mobs devastated his aid centers, and the self-proclaimed king had to leave Poland. Goodbye, Mr. Piast. See if the Confine may be pulling out a win. The PSA is actually doing pretty badly, surprisingly. Yeah, they're getting pushed into Southern California. I usually do not see that at all. There has been yet another surge of membership in Antimonics organizations, especially in the legal Polish state, which advocates for hard break from Germany and the Union of Austro-Galicia. Feeding on the poor situation in Poland, and no doubt with discreet help from Austria herself, groups like them are openly critical of the king, and many of their newspapers need to be continuously censored to cut out the most radical parts. These so-called Republicans have convinced many of the need for revolution, one that would throw away the civilized order and sell their nation to the Austrians. Let's do our best to convince them otherwise. Isn't one Poland enough for Vienna? Ooh, Kenya's joining the Entente. Interesting. Today, the old general, Josef Dovbor Musninsky, died in hospital of a terrible heart disease. And now alive for Regency Council from the start, Dovbor Musninsky. Is that our guy right now? Oh, no. He's been a staunch ally of the crown during these past few years, always speaking for independence and strength in the Polish army. An address given by Crown Prince Alexander, where he was posthumously awarded the State Decoration of the Order of White Eagle. Despite his criticism towards Pilsudski, both of the men of the king and dissenters can agree that the general is a nationalist who did his best he could for his nation. Now the general staff has a void, needing a new appointment. There are 3 leading candidates being pushed for in the court. However, such a high position of dire importance for the military does not be chosen lightly. Neither of them? I don't know if that's right. I think we'll promote Sosninsky. It's gonna be better him than anyone else, I think. Follow Washington. How did Ukraine? They haven't done favor monarchy yet. Which would be interesting to see if that does happen. Turkestan. Ooh, new national focus, that is right. Gotta get working on that. Nah, polarized. I am funny. We could feel the industries next. Do some domestic aircraft manufacturing. I think I might expand the chemical industry, actually. The new and exciting industries of synthetic rubber and fuel production have the potential to be a great boon for our nation, such as our own, which struggle to find sufficient supplies of resources. With help from German petrochemical experts, government capital is being directed towards the foundation of new synthetic rubber facilities near the town of Debicha, which will hopefully be the first step in a new economic sector, helping to make us more self-reliant. We can help. Hope. We'll finish this up in December, and that'll give us an extra research slot once we do that. Or we can get an extra research slot, rather. Excavation is being finished up. Have 8% economic influence in our country, which is very, very nice. I could click one of these, but I shouldn't because I want to change up my manufacturing. I don't want to touch that. Because I think if I get above 80 and then I renegotiate, I get a very, very nice little bonus. I think we'll do Oproba, naradova. The idea of secondary units to support the operations of official troops has been a long-standing one, with various militias existing across the world with such a goal in mind. In order to make such a practice more efficient, however, many within our military are proposing a state-sponsored volunteer force which will exist to assist a standing army. The name they propose for this organization is Oproba, naradova, National Defense. Do excavation 2. Portugal's joined the Entente. Eastern European cooperation. Ooh. It's often said that poverty and hunger breed unrest, and there's plenty of these issues among the poor working class of the Polish industrial centers. This has proven to be an apt breeding ground for all kinds of socialists, syndicalists, and communists, ready to listen to the false gospel of liberation preached by the PPS and the French. There will always be some nonconformists, but we could limit the amount of radicalization with some gestures of goodwill towards the workers, which could perhaps make the less radical ones listen to reason. What could they do, though? Ooh. Earlier today, the first broadcast could be heard throughout the nation from the newest radio station operated by Polski Radio SA in Razin. This radio station, with the most powerful transmitter in Europe, has a power of 120 kilowatts, can be heard from hundreds of kilometers away. This long-range station will allow all Polish citizens nationwide to hear the news and other important information from the comfort of their own homes. Fantastic achievement. Can you join the Entente, I think it said. Huh. Go figure. Portugal, South Africa's still in... Who'd have thunk it? Okay. British West Africa. The Entente is looking okay so far. Collins ousted from office. Feels bad. Oh, wonderful. Historically, a former Russian-controlled or Congress Poland has had an abysmal literacy rate. For a long time, there was no mandatory education, and when there was, it was tainted by the goals of Russification. This is in stark contrast with German Poland and Austrian Poland, both of which had relatively good literacy and organized education systems since the 19th century. Due to the strong pro-education policies of our past governments, emigration of educated Poles from Belarus and Germany, and the tireless work of Polish cultural elites, our independent Poland is finally nearing Poznan or Krakow in literacy. Excellent. Decimate. I'll do some radar stuff, I guess. Najin Hassa was annexed. Jabal Shamar is one out. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I was playing some Europa. I was playing a little bit of Naj to try to get that achievement, and it is a pain to play over there. Oh. Speaking of pain, Ireland's about to go through a lot. There goes America. Not surprised there at all. Oh, jeez. I think the Cindies are in a pretty nice position right about now. Field Marshal will go with Sosninski. Now let's renovate the University of Warsaw. First established in 1816, the University of Warsaw has had a long tradition of educating the brightest minds in Poland. While this tradition gives it a lot more prestige, a modern center of education requires far more than status. There are many new fields which require specialized education for their exploration. If we wish to keep our premier education institutions abreast with foreign counterparts, we must invest in its modernization. Let's get working on this. Well, I think I should get working on the outro too, because I gotta end it here, folks. Thanks so much for watching, though. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, hit the sub button for uploads weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. Yeah. If you have any comments, leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments again. Appreciate any all the feedback you might have for me. And check out my various links down in the description box below, if you have some time or interest to, of course. Thanks always for watching, friends. I thank you for watching. My name's Mr. Dogbook333, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.